Gentlemen, hey, congratulations for Drunk Bus.
Thank you.
Hey, so let's start off with the easy question because this movie looks so much fun for both of you. But I want to hear is like why both of you wanted to do a film like Drunk Bus.
Well, it was one of the only true comedy scripts that was going around, and I read it and I thought it was really funny. And then like the 2 days after I read the script, I met up with John and Brandon, the two directors, in New York, and it was really their sense of humor and how personal the story was to them too, that I realized it could. I knew it was funny from Chris Molinaro's writing the script. And when I met the guys, I got a sense of they were going to approach it with a lot of sensitivity as well. So I got really excited for meeting the guys. I kind of just try to work with good, talented, interesting people. And then when I met Pineapple, I was like, oh, this is gonna rule. All that.
Pineapple.
So yeah, I've been tied to the script for quite some time. I actually knew Brandon, half of the directing duo, from college. He was my next door neighbor, and so in the dorm rooms. And so he actually wrote the script and then sent it to me back in like 2013, 2014, I believe. And so he was like, yeah, we're going to get you as an advisor on the film. And I was like, cool. And he's like, oh, you know what, man, we're just going to get you acting classes and you're going to be in it. And I was like, all right, cool. And I had no idea how big it in this independent film could have gotten, and so it's been pretty interesting since.
Pineapple, how did it feel that they literally wrote the script for you? I mean, they named the character right after you.
Yep. Yeah, it was I mean, it's a lot different. Even you can see from the screen to how I'm talking now, this is how I normally am. I'm normally pretty chill, pretty mellow, very monotone, and that doesn't translate so well when you're acting. And so I had a great acting coach who was able to tell me to go bigger, go louder, go outside of yourself. That's acting, it's not just doing it how you would do it. Otherwise, everyone would play the same role all the time. And it also helped that Charlie was there to really be so supportive, especially with this being my first big role, that how to, approach the scene, hanging out off set off camera, just to help build that chemistry. And it just came very natural. So it was just like a perfect storm for me.
Wow, that's surprising. So Pineapple's nothing like Pineapple in the movie. But Charlie, are you anything like your character?
Maybe in some ways. No, not really. No, not really. He talks like me. He looks a lot like me. But I think we lead pretty different lives, or maybe we don't. I don't know. Maybe they're similar. I don't know.
Both of you got the chance to drive a bus. Did you basically had to learn how to drive a bus, and how was it fun, or was it kind of like frustrating at times?
I think Pineapple actually does know how to drive a bus because he used to do it. I took a few lessons with like the stunt team, but I never drove the bus. Actually on camera, all the stuff that was inside the bus we were on a sound stage, and they had projected plates of the street view outside the windows. So I didn't have to do anything. I took some lessons to make it look like I knew what I was doing and which knobs to touch, but I did not have to drive the bus.
Oh, Pineapple, did you drove the bus or it's
I
also
did. Oh no, I definitely did. I mean, I drove it in college, and it was, yeah, it was like second nature getting back behind the wheel.
Pineapple, so since you drove it back in college and you advised the directing duo on this film, did you have any situations with these college kids going crazy and all this kind of stuff on your bus, and how did you handle it?
Surprisingly, not that much that I can remember. It was a lot of just like driving around, working late nights. But we'd also end up getting a bunch of our friends from the university just riding along with us, hanging out, and they actually wrote that into the film with um, Kona and Kara Hayward. They're two characters. They just don't really have a destination. They just come, jump on, ride around, hang out, and yeah, that was a lot of what went on back in the university days too.
Awesome. Charlie, one of the things that I did find fascinating about your character is your character has basically changed from the beginning to towards the end, because it's sort of a journey going around in circles in his own way. But could you talk about the fun scenes that you get to be with Pineapple, particularly riding the bus, or was that on the soundstage too?
It was it was kind of a mixed bag, but yeah, on the soundstage, yeah, it was, we had a lot of, they had a lot of local people who were being the bus riders. So we had extras kind of coming in and out, and we had a lot of props. There were a lot of days where we were just we were filming time lapse stuff where they were going to speed up the footage initially. So those days where we were kind of just on the bus and like they would just kind of set up the camera and be like, what are we going to do? Those were really fun and had a lot of freedom, and there were props and people dancing, and those days were definitely a lot of fun and kind of captured the feeling of what it would probably actually be like.
Great. And for both of you, the thing about watching this movie is the amazing chemistry that you two actually had together, and you guys mentioned that, or Pineapple mentioned that you guys develop some chemistry also off screen. Can you talk about how you guys actually did that together? Because on screen it does look like you guys have that chemistry.
Yeah, Pineapple, I think we do.
I think so too.
No, F off, Charlie. No, yeah, I mean, one of the first thoughts I had when I read the script, I was like, oh, for this to work at all, you need to have this friendship make sense and not have it be forced just because it was written. And then so it had to be one of those things because they're kind of an unlikely duo. They're kind of an odd couple. It's one of those things where it has to just kind of make sense on screen, and you can't really explain why, how much they have in common or anything. So yeah, but then it turned into something that wasn't forced. I mean, we set up like some rehearsal processes, and we were trying to they were trying to get me and Pineapple to build a relationship, but we started filming, and we were eating 2-3 meals together a day. I've been saying the same exact answer all day. And so, yeah, we built a relationship naturally, I think.
Yeah.
And it just, I think we naturally like hit it off. And soon after I met Pineapple, I was like, oh, this is fine. We could leave this how it is. And yeah, it really wasn't forced. And I think it makes sense, and it feels real and natural and organic.
Awesome. You two had a nice scene together trying to do the tongue ring. Pineapple, I understand this is actually your expertise. Could you talk about that? And Charlie, what was it like pretending to get that tongue ring with Pineapple sticking your fingers in your mouth?
Well, Pineapple's got a very steady hand, that's for sure. It was a little nerve-wracking having a needle to my tongue. But you know, I trusted my friend Pineapple not to actually pierce me so that I could work for the rest of the week without a swollen tongue. But I did not get pierced. Maybe when I have time off, Pineapple, I'll come down, can do a tongue piercing.
Oh man, I'd love to.
I don't want to do that. I just said that for the interview. I want to come visit you. I just don't want to get pierced.
No worries, man. You don't have to.
Pineapple. So, could you tell us about your expertise, because you do these piercing, you do
Right. Yeah, so I'm a piercer in Austin, Texas, and I own a few studios here. Two of them in Austin, one in Dallas, and it's called Shaman Modifications. And it, yeah, that's my normal 9-to-5 job. I live it, work it, breathe it for the last 15 years, you know. So it was pretty fun to do it on camera. It was a lot easier because it was with props, and I knew I wasn't actually going to be piercing somebody, so I didn't have to be as focused. And it was actually something that I did to the director, Brandon Leganke, back in college whenever we were young and irresponsible.
Wow, that's much than quite a trip back in college. That's for sure.
Mhm.
Well, as I'm starting to wrap things up, one last thing I want to ask about the film was that there's a nice portrait of you two together in the film. What was your initial reaction when you first saw it, and do you guys know where that portrait is now?
Has that? I think John and Brandon might have the portrait.
Yeah, I thought them or Eric Hollenbeck, the producer.
Yeah,
might
Eric
still have
Hollenbeck,
it.
the producer. But yeah, they had their friend, this artist who's I feel really bad I forget his name right now, but they had him working on these while we had been filming, and that was one of the last scenes that we shot in Fuck You Bob's studio. So I didn't see it until that day. So our reactions to those were pretty real on screen.
That is terrific. Well, before I let you go, as we are speaking, via Zoom right now, because the world has gone crazy, but things are starting to open up. But I want to know is, for the past year, how are you two still staying sane and creative this entire time?
I'm not.
Yeah, I've been working like a workhorse. Surprisingly, we were shut down for 2 months when COVID hit back in April. Yeah, March and April of last year. And so since then, since we reopened, it's been like the busiest the studio's been. So I've been working like crazy.
Excellent. Well, both of you can, once again, congratulations for Drunk Bus, and thank you for speaking with me. Perhaps next time.
Thanks.
Sweet. Thank you so much.